You've heard of them, right? The Big Four accounting firms. For decades, they've been this legendary launchpad for amazing careers. But you also hear about the grueling, high-pressure culture. So what's the real deal? In this explainer, we're digging into one big question. Is a job at a Big Four firm really the ultimate career accelerator?
So, is that whole no pain, no gain mantra really worth it? Are the long hours and the stress actually a fair trade for what you get in return for your career and, your bank account? To figure that out, we're going to break down a first-hand account from someone who's been there, done that.
Here's our game plan. We'll start with what the experience is actually like. Then we'll unpack the skills you walk away with, the career doors that swing open, and how it all stacks up against other paths. By the end, we should have a pretty clear answer for you.
To get the real story, we're leaning on the experience of a guy named Ben. He's a former Big Four professional who spent 4 years as an auditor, right in the thick of it.
So, after all that, what did Ben think? Well, he's upfront about the crazy hours and the stress, but his final word on it? The experience was invaluable. He says it was tough, for sure, but that there was a huge upside that made it all worthwhile. So, let's find out what that was. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does the job actually feel like? Let's take a peek at what you can expect from day one as a brand new auditor. While things move fast, the onboarding process is super structured. You get your laptop and all your gear, you go through some initial training, and boom, you're assigned to a project. Just like that, you're heading out to the client's office, ready to dive in.
And this is where the real action starts. I mean, you're not just tucked away in a back room crunching numbers. No way. Your job is to understand how these huge, complex companies work from the inside out. You're analyzing their systems, and you're meeting directly with heads of departments and executives. You have to get really good at asking smart questions to some very, very smart people.
And of course, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, the hours. Ben confirms it. You're definitely going to be burning the midnight oil sometimes to hit those deadlines. Which, hey, brings us right back to that no pain, no gain philosophy, doesn't it? Okay, so you've put in the work, you've survived the grind. Now what? What's the big payoff? This is where we really get to the heart of it, the incredible skills and knowledge you walk away with. What you learn here goes so far beyond what you get in a textbook. You get this deep inside baseball understanding of how massive corporations actually run. You see exactly how financial data gets made, how to check it, and this is a big one, you develop a sixth sense for spotting when something just doesn't look right. And because of that, your role totally transforms. You go from being a compliance checker to what's called a value-added advisor. You start using what you know to help clients reduce their business risks. That builds you a reputation as a trusted expert, which is just gold for the rest of your career.
Now let's talk about the big one, the long-term career payoff. You've got the skills, you've built the reputation, so what does that actually mean for you after you decide to leave the Big Four?
Let's just start with the number that makes everyone's jaw drop. According to Ben's experience, when he moved from the Big Four into a role in the industry, his salary tripled. Yep, a 3x increase. That one fact tells you pretty much everything you need to know about how much the market values this kind of experience.
And look, it's not just about the paycheck, right? Having a Big Four firm on your resume is like a golden ticket. It immediately gives you a competitive edge. It makes you stand out and helps you get your foot in the door for those really prestigious roles everyone else is trying to get.
And those roles are all over the map in a good way. We're talking high-level positions in major industries, a jump into consulting, the super competitive world of private equity, or it can even give you the toolkit you need to go off and start your own thing. All right, so this brings up a really important question for anyone thinking about this. Do you have to go with one of the giants? How does that Big Four experience really compare to working at a smaller, local CPA firm?
Well, the biggest differences really come down to scale. At a Big Four firm, your clients are these massive multinational corporations, so you're dealing with global accounting standards. At a local firm, it's more about local businesses, so your network becomes either global and widespread or tight-knit and community-focused.
But listen, this is the key takeaway here. At the end of the day, the fundamental audit work, it's the same. You're following the same principles. The real difference isn't what you're doing, it's who you're doing it for, the massive scale and complexity of the companies you work with at a Big Four firm.
Okay, so we've looked at the grind, the skills, the doors that open. Let's put it all together and get to the final verdict. Is the Big Four really a career accelerator?
First off, let's just be clear on what we mean by career accelerator.
We're talking about a job with a clear path forward, top-of-the-line training, and something that gives your whole career a massive boost. And yeah, based on everything we've seen, the Big Four absolutely fits that bill.
Now, you might be wondering, okay, but is there a point where it's just too late to jump in? Well, the thinking here is that it's never really too late. Even just a couple of years at a Big Four firm, no matter where you are in your career, can give you a huge leg up.
So let's just boil it down. What's the real value here? You get a structured career path with clear promotions, you get incredible hands-on training from the best in the business, your knowledge and skills get a serious upgrade, and you walk away with a resume that opens doors for the rest of your life.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. Maybe the question isn't just if you should take on the Big Four challenge. Maybe the real question is, if you do, what are you going to do with the incredible advantage it gives you?